Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me just adjust this. Okay. Wait. Minus that. Okay. So I wrote a script for this video. So most likely this will be better than probably other videos because I have my thoughts here. Here we go. I prefer not to get my news from comedians. What do Bill Maher, Howard Stern, Jon Stewart, Dennis Miller, and Stephen Colbert all have in common? Yes, they are considered comedians, which will make me sound completely hypocritical about what I'm going to say, but overall, these men aren't really comedians. They're more social commentators who have valuable opinions that should be considered. We'll admit that these guys can still give a giggle. However, they are more serious about journalism than journalists are about journalism, which honestly says a lot. I'm not kidding you. When CNN does a whole day of news about what soda Donald Trump drinks, you know that CNN is sounding more like the SNL parodies every day by the minute. As the title of this goes, I really do not prefer to get my news from comedians. Comedians are looking to make people laugh. They're looking to make people feel better or to make them forget about the bad things they hear about, which makes comedians more empathetic, and I like that about funny people. I'm empathetic myself. However, when you talk politics or news even, the empathetic mask has to be pulled back a little bit so the mask of pragmatism comes into play. Why is pragmatism so important to political discourse? It's important because it keeps the conversation open and completely unbiased. If you go into a conversation empathetic and the conversation is about politics, it'll end out being one-sided on both ends, which is one of the main reasons why I don't prefer to get my news from comedians. Another reason why I don't get my news from comedians is because they want to joke about things that shouldn't be joked about. I'll give you an example. Say someone goes on Bloomberg Business News Channel and talks about Bitcoin or their stock market having such low statuses that they're worried about it might crashing. Now, a comedian's job is to make a joke about that, which doesn't sound funny when people are about to lose every single penny they earn. Even Jon Stewart called out an economics show host for NBC telling him that, quote, "See, I want that Jim to tell me about the state of the economy and not that Jim thinking the American economy is all fun and games." In that interview, Jon Stewart was talking to Jim Cramer about how it's not really ethical or practical to joke about the state of the economy when it comes to money people are worried about losing. So that's my other reason why I don't like to get my news from comedians. They're always looking for a punchline. I could go on forever about why I don't prefer to get my news from comedians, but I just end up repeating myself. So I'll wrap this up and I'll give you my final reason why I don't get my news from comedians. My final reason being is comedians are strictly into comedy and comedy alone. Just look at John Oliver. He is trying to be the next Jon Stewart, which in some cases the teachings he learned from John show, but most of the time he's making quick, little funny notes while talking about a serious topic. John did the same thing, but not as often. He did it to keep his audience tuned in just to listen to serious conversations that need to be had. Most topics like the 9/11 first responders bill wouldn't have seen the light of day unless John took off his funny mask and got down to business by talking to 9/11 first responders. He did a follow-up interview over a year ago, and only one of the 4 responders was present. The other 3 died of cancers which were incurable. John Oliver, on the other hand, usually has the theater face on, which is not promising to take someone seriously who's being theatrical to people while talking about serious topics. So those are my 3 out of many reasons I don't get my news from comedians. I hope you enjoyed watching or listening to this. Please like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe, please hit the bell. And for those who have been subscribed to me, hit that bell as well, because a lot of YouTubers have said their sub counts have been lowered and messed up by the algorithm of the site. So long.